Hi, everybody. This is Dr. Eileen West from Fairfax, Virginia. I'm a general internist here, and I am very excited today to talk with you about dietary benefits. And I have a wonderful dietitian who works with us here in the practice by the name of Mary Hunt. And she is going to spend some time talking with us about her top 10 dietary tips for longevity. How are you doing today, Mary?
Great. So excited to be here. It's such an honor and a pleasure to work with you. And I've been doing this for 30 years, and you're one of the few physicians that I can honestly say that actually gets it, that really appreciates nutrition and our health and well-being. And to have the focus on women's medicine just makes me so excited. So I am excited to bring some joy to everyone today. I want people to think more of nutrition as something pleasurable, something to be celebrated and enjoyed. And so I am delighted to share some information.
Fantastic. Well, we can't wait to hear all about it. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump right in, get us started.
Wonderful. Well, a lot of my patients like to take notes. So if anyone wants to take notes, I love acronyms. So my acronym for today is Pleasure MS. And so I want to start with the P. So P is I've actually listened to 50 different lectures from presenters all around the world. I attended my conference, my national conference virtually. And I've come down to these little tidbits of pleasure. And basically what the evidence-based nutrition is saying now is that we need to follow a healthy dietary pattern. So that's where the P comes in. So P stands for pattern. And if you look at the plate, I have this wonderful picture here. This is what we want to aim for, a healthy plate, which means inclusion of all food groups. So many people are saying it's about what I can't have. Oh, I can't have sweets. I can't have carbs. I can't have bread. And it's not about what you can't have. It's about what you can have. And again, what we're trying to do is to develop a healthy dietary pattern. There's no good foods. There's no bad foods. It all fits in to something called a food matrix. That's another buzzword now. And so we used to say low saturated fats. We used to, there's like, oh, but coconut oil is bad, coconut oil is good. And so there's so much information out there. But again, it's the food, it's the way our pattern is. So P starts with pattern. No food groups are included. But having said that, L stands for trying to limit the refined carbohydrates. We know from research, we used to think it was the saturated fats that were really the bad guys that were contributing to all our obesity, to heart problems. But it's not just the saturated fats, it's the refined carbohydrates. And a lot of times we decrease the fat, and what are we adding? More refined carbohydrates. So when I talk about refined carbohydrates, I mean more of the processed foods. So P stands for the dietary pattern. L stands for limiting the refined carbohydrates and starches and going more towards whole foods. Michael Pollan has a wonderful saying. I just have to say there's 7 words. Eat food, not too much, mostly plants. Eat food, not too much, mostly plants. That is the key. There are 5 regions in the United States. They're called the blue zones. And we've studied these regions. A fellow at the National Geographic studied these regions, and these people live the longest. They have the lowest incidence of dementia. They live to their 90s, 100s, and there's certain things that they do. And one of the things that they do is they eat whole foods, minimally processed foods. There's 4 things they always have in their homes. There's 100% whole grain breads. I can't tell you how many of my patients don't eat bread anymore. Bread is okay. It's more of the processed food. So when you see 100% whole grain or whole wheat, it's fine. They also, but in moderation. So they eat 100% whole wheat breads. They eat a lot of beans as their protein source. It's 90 to 100% plant-based, or the regions that live the longest. They also eat nuts for snack, whole foods, not a lot of processed carbs. They eat nuts, but in moderation. And then they also have lots of fruits and vegetables. So L stands for the less processed foods, more whole foods. Michael Pollan also has another saying: we want to eat foods that our great grandmother would recognize. So she's most likely not going to recognize monosodium glutamate and sucralose and acsulfame. So the fewer the ingredients, the less processed, the better. Okay, let's go to E. Okay, so E stands for your environment. I can tell you all about a healthy dietary pattern. I can tell you all about eating less processed foods. This is a tough time we're in. This is an unprecedented time. People are eating a lot of processed foods. I'm not saying to delete them all, but to minimize them. And the key is to make your environment food friendly. If they're there, if processed foods, or if the chips are on the counter, if the croissants are on the counter, we have to make the foods that are whole and healthy front and center, and to really minimize the foods that are tempting for us. We want foods that to satisfy us, not to satisfy and satiate us, and not that we overindulge it, not that we have more than a serving of. So if there's some kind of processed carb or high fat food, if you can have a serving of it, it's fine. Make peace with it. Food is to be pleasurable and not to be feared. So E, you have to make your environment work for you. And if it means, and again, I always ask people, what are you really craving? Oh, donuts. I love donuts. I'm saying, well, have a donut. Go out and buy a donut. Just don't bring a dozen home. Or go and buy two and have one day, and have a banana, have a glass of milk with it. It's the matrix. It's the pattern that you're having within the meal, within the day, within the days. So pattern, less processed foods, make your environment a healthy one. A stands for alcohol. Watch the alcohol. Be aware of how much you're drinking. More and more, we're realizing that, especially during COVID, the portions of alcohol in a restaurant are 9 ounces, the average. A woman should have at the very most 1 serving of alcohol a day. I even got one of my little wine glasses. This is an appropriate size. No more than 5 ounces of wine a day. When you go to a restaurant, they pour 9 ounces. A lot of people will drink a half a bottle of wine. Whatever it is, just be aware of the portion sizes. And now we know that alcohol can increase your risk of certain cancers. If you have a family history of breast cancer, you really have to be particularly careful. So be aware of the alcohol. Also be aware of the other beverages. There's a lot of sweetened beverages. They don't do those in the blue zones. They drink mainly water. They drink tea. They drink coffee. But they don't have a lot of sweetened beverages. And a lot of those coffee drinks are loaded with calories. Some of them have up to 15, 20 grams of 15 to 20 teaspoons of sugar in them. So be aware of the coffee drinks, of even some of the other drinks that they're promoting out there. Well, even Gatorade. There's some other fruit juice drinks that are also have a lot of added sugar. So having said that about the alcohol, I'm going to go to the S's. So we have A is the alcohol, S are the 3 S's. I want you to be aware or be mindful of the added sugars. The fewer the added sugars, the better. Now, fruit, there's no added sugar to fruit unless it is canned fruit and has added sugar to it. But just plain fruit, whole fruit or frozen fruit, there is no added sugar to that. So fruit is fine. Carrots are fine. Milk is fine. I had a patient that won't drink milk because it has sugar in it. The sugar in plain milk is lactose, which is an excellent sugar. Milk is an excellent source of calcium and protein and vitamins and minerals. So it's the added sugar. So sugar, and on the food labels, they are putting added sugar on there. There's total sugars and added sugars. So it's the added sugars, it's the saturated fats, and the sodium. And we would like to lower the sodium optimally to less than 2,300 milligrams a day. So the less sodium a product has in it, the better. And also the less saturated fat. I mentioned at first that saturated fat may not be the worst villain, but we still want to limit it for heart health. The studies, the evidence-based nutrition still says to limit the saturated fat. So S stands for the three S's: added sugar, saturated fat, sodium. Now I come to U, and the U in pleasure stands for understanding food labels. As Americans, our portion is called portion distortion. When you eat out, an average meal out is 1,300 calories. An average woman only needs about 400 calories at a meal. So when you eat out, you're getting twice as much as you need. The portions are just so excessive. So if we can start by looking at food labels and look at the portion sizes. A lot of times people have no idea how many crackers or how many a tablespoon of olive oil has 120 calories. And people just pour olive oil when they make stir fry, or they're even doing oven roasted vegetables. Get to know what a portion of salad dressing, olive oil, even those are healthy fats. They're heart healthy, but they're not weight friendly. So really watch out for all types of fats, all types of portions on labels. Look at the portions of size of cereals, of crackers, especially of ice cream. So again, try to understand or be more mindful of labels. And there's something called greenwashing, where things will say all natural, or even if it's organic,